Good morning. Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. This is your girl Reese, aka the best that ever did it. Good morning. Good morning. I am in the house, and we're here for another episode of the Morning Mac Show. Today, I am joined by my lovely co-host, Miss Bernice Smith. Good morning, Bernice. How you doing, hon?
I'm good. Can't complain. How are you?
I'm good. Seems like my voice is going in and out, in and out. Woo! And as everybody know, we are here and we're joined today, um, each and every day with our super producer, Mr. DJ Molly Mall, and his $1 million moments. He's in the back right now doing what he do best, and that's multitasking. He's doing this show, that show. The man's busy.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, he is. He stay busy. He stays so busy. We gotta take care of ourselves and our health. You know what I mean, Bernice? Because it's very important that we keep our immune system up and our health going so we can stay going. But let me share something with y'all, right? Um, because of my past medical history, I didn't think I could get any life insurance, right, to cover my final cost expense. So one of my friends, his name is Mr. Brian Briscoe, my friend, soon to be all of you guys' friends. He told me I can guarantee you can get some insurance, right? I said, what? Even with the congestive heart failure and the COPD and all of this, he was like, all of that. So he shared the product with me, which is life insurance. I finally was able to obtain some life insurance. I've always had accident insurance for years, but now I was able to also get that extra level of protection for life insurance. Um, he has family first life insurance, and his name is Brian Briscoe. And what I'm saying that his product is a good product because I have it myself. It afforded me a nice coverage, enough for my final expenses that my son don't have to worry about, and they don't have to do a GoFundMe page because it seemed like the norm in society when somebody passed, we don't expect anything, but we all know that one day that we all going to make that final step. We want to go that way, so it's nice to have something in place. When I was younger, I never thought about it. When I was in my 20s, because when kids that's in their 20s, they can get life insurance dirt cheap and it stay dirt cheap until they get up into their 50s. And then when they're up in their 50s and then the health issues and everything, it goes up a little higher. But he was able to give me a policy that I can afford comfortably, and it's enough to cover what I need to have done for my final homegoing expenses. So his name is Brian Briscoe. Y'all need to reach out. We're gonna have his number and all that stuff information for you guys later on in the week and all that good stuff. But like I said, Brian Briscoe, Family First Life Insurance. So if y'all need it before then, y'all can direct message me or get at me. Be like, Reese, what's Brian's number? And I give you that information. And it's funny because I've known this man for like 7, 8 years, and guess how I met him? Bernice, she ain't never going to guess how I met this man
How's that?
in the gym. I used to be a gym rat. Can you believe? Back in 2008, I was hitting the gym 4 times a day. I used to be because I wanted to be Layla Ali. You remember I said that I was trying to box back then, girl? I had a personal trainer and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Look, and then health kicked in. I never forget it. I went to the hospital on October the 20th in 2008. They said, "Oh, you hit with cardiomyopathy." I said, "What the hell was that?" And I was going to the gym. I was doing healthy. It's just we don't never know what's in our DNA. What we are predestined to and everything. And I think that if I didn't wasn't doing what I was doing, I might have been taken out earlier, you know. But I'm glad I tried to start eating right, try to start being healthy then, because if I kept the same unhealthy practices, um, it could have took me away, you know, long before. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
just Girl, I'm just thankful that we're here. But we need life assurance, Bernice. We need to set that in place. Our counterparts, our other cultures and other colors have that. But why do you think that black folks don't look ahead like that? Do you think it's because they feel they can't afford it?
A lot of them can't afford it. You got to think about what's going on in this world. You know, a lot of them other cultures are, mm, uh, how can I say, they're better off financially than a lot of our community. And you know, sometimes people out here working. Some people got two jobs and they still struggling. So you
Yeah.
definitely have to look at that. You know, people and you know, my grandparents said they had an old saying: "Rob Peter to pay Paul."
Yep.
You deciding what bill you gonna pay, what you can skip this month, that kind of stuff. Those things are a lot of people's reality. So yeah, some people just can't, and it's a lot of them out here. So you know,
Yeah, that's right. So we definitely need people. We need life assurance. It's called sacrifice. Put down them cigarettes. Put down them beers. Put down, you know, what's more important. Some people don't care, and other
yeah,
people do. Not to leave that strain or burden on the family. That's why there's so many GoFundMe uh, pages when somebody died.
yeah. I mean, I agree. You know, I agree. But my thing is this: if you can go fund and give money to these rich people, why can't you help somebody who down? And I agree that we have a responsibility to take care of our families. I already told my sons, even with life insurance, don't you spend no bunch of money trying to bury me. I don't even want a service. I don't need no service. My group is small. Go somewhere, have a memorial, put some pictures up, and let me go.
Mm.
Period.
That's what I said to my son too. Throw a party in my name. look,
Right.
look, we get some booze on the side, but I had to mention First Family Life Insurance first, Mr. Ronald Hunt. He want to get on with the topic of the day. Look at him moving from the sidelines. We coming, Ronald. We coming. And
Well, before we get into that, we're gonna talk about some trending topics. So
okay,
today is the 10th anniversary of Sandy Hook. And I can just imagine that those parents are still mourning and going through. You know, it's a hard, long process. It's been 1 year for me, so I don't believe that pain will ever, you know, really go away. You just learn how to live and deal with it. But it's definitely the 10-year anniversary of Sandy Hook, so I'm still praying for those families.
you know
And
those families got what our families and a lot of families didn't get. The firearm, Smith and Wesson paid them out like a $92 million lawsuit, something of that nature. For those families that lost their loved ones, the gun company took reign and actually paid them on that.
oh,
Did you
okay,
know that? Yeah, I mean, I was like, well, then they should have paid all the people. They should have paid that church that where the people the man came in Bible study and killed all the people in the church. They should have paid the one up in New York that just happened. If gun companies is going to take their responsibility and saying it's their guns, then everybody should be paid who got struck down by a bullet.
I
Or,
mean,
or
that would definitely be nice. But we often talk about how unfair things are to our people. So we know what it is. We know what it is, and you know it's hard to deal with sometimes. But we live in what we call reality. This is our reality. We know it's not going to work out, you know, for us the way it works out for them. That's just what it is.
yeah.
And I want to tell you about this COVID test recall.
Oh,
Hmm. In
girl.
Indiana, several production lots of COVID tests are being recalled because there is an increased chance they may give false negative results.
Mm,
Woo!
I've been said that. I've been said that. Yes, indeed.
It's crazy out here the way things go, but you can't trust everything all the time. Period. You take them tests, and I've been said, sometimes they give those false results, false negative, false positive, you know, but it is what it is. What can we say about it?
Now, I bet you, are those the tests that they've been giving us out free in the mail? You know, that you can order tests or go to the library and pick up. Which tests are being recalled? That's the test that they give out to CVS. Because if that's the case, then why even take a test anymore, people? Why even take a test? Because you got people, you say, oh, they negative, and they going around spreading it to everybody. Why
Well,
even take the test?
these are recent tests, I believe, and it's in Indianapolis. So,
Mm.
it said the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said the recall involves around 11,102 tests. The tests were shipped to customers from July 26, 2022 to August 26, 2022. So, baby, a lot of people probably are upset about it, but what can you do? What can you honestly do when that stuff happens?
Nothing, and they probably already got it, and they probably already spread it. You know, because some people don't sit down. Some people know they got it or know they've been exposed, and they keep going because that's their life. They got to keep going, especially because the government stopped paying for people to take time off of work and everything. So, baby, you got to go to work. It's either this: I'm sick, I don't feel good, I may be asymptomatic, I may be able to still function, but I'm still highly contagious. Am I going to stay home and not be able to feed my family, pay my bills, or B, go out there and just pray that whoever I give it to or get sick don't end up passing.
Wear the
Or
mask. Wear the mask. Continue to sanitize.
wash your
Protect
hands.
yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Protect yourself. And the last note, we're gonna talk about some good news. We're gonna talk about this one-armed basketball player.
What?
Yeah, his name is Hansel Emmanuel. On December 10th, teammates and fans of Northwestern State sounded their applause when their new freshman basketball player scored his first points for the team. And
Oh,
a minute later, he added his total with a thunderous dunk in what became a 91-73 win over Louisiana Monroe, bringing the crowd of 1,600 to their feet.
I know that's right. And one arm. Go ahead, son. Go
Yes,
ahead.
Lord. And I
I know that's
seen some videos of him. This young man is, yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. That just goes to show when you put your mind to something, you can get it done.
yes. And that is a feel good story. That is, because a lot of people take their disability and they feel down. But look at that young man. He done
Yes,
took a
Lord.
negative and turned it into a triple positive. Not only
Yes,
am I going on with my life, I'm gonna get out here and get some points. Go ahead
Lord.
and skill with the game. You know how hard that is to bounce with one hand, to be able to go dribble down the court. I could just imagine as an ex basketball player, I could just say, ooh, that, and then to set up to shoot. Wow, shoot with
Yep.
one hand. Damn. I mean, dang. I mean, I'm not to say when you say the other D word, but I mean, that's awesome. I got to see this footage. I got you, Bernice. You got to share it with me later. I got to see this footage. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So on with the topic, Mr. Ron. Go ahead.
let's get into the video, Molly. Good morning. Oh, before we get into the video, let's just say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Jill on keys. Jill, I met Jill several years ago. She was a music person that used to come in at the senior home where my grandmother resided until she passed. Wonderful, wonderful lady. Great music producer ear and all of that good stuff. And good morning, Ronald and Hunt Truth. Good morning, DJ Slicky Woo Boo. We love you. Okay. I hope Latrice get a chance to come in because that's our girl. She must be real busy. Her and
Yeah.
Sandra and stuff. I don't know where the rest of the gang is, but that's okay. We'll run the
But
video.
life happens. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Contrary to belief at birth, there are more black boys born in the world than there are girls. It's close, but it's 1.03 black boys born in the world to 1.0 black girls. Hear me clearly. At birth, black boys outnumber black girls 1.03 to 1.0. A brief 18 years later, it is now 1.0 available, and that's a key word, available black men, to 1.8 available black women. Almost 2 adult women for every 1 adult man. Now, the only question that should be going through your minds right now is what happened? We keep raising the wrong question. We keep asking, why do black men hang on corners? Why do black men lack direction? Well, if you ask this question, you answer the question 18 to 30 years too late. It is not a conspiracy to destroy black men. It's a conspiracy to destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Not gonna look around the room and tell you know where are they. If they're not available to black women, where are they? Call the roll. In jail, there are 329,000 brothers in prison right now. 1 of every 4 brothers will go to prison. Where else? Or death. There's numerous ways that we die. There's homicide, suicide, drugs, war, high blood pressure, and the leading killer among black men, lung cancer. Our love for cigarettes, especially cool. Smoke them all day long, die the exact same way. Cool. Where else? We have prison, death. What else to make us unavailable to black women? Yes, homosexuality. As you said earlier, 1 of every 9 men in this country are homosexual. Where else? Yes.
Hospitalized, institutionalized.
Okay, so institutionalization, and there's not only in terms of hospitals, but also mental institutions, and of course, when they get released, many times being homeless. There's still one other large popular area. Thimby?
They marry white women.
Okay, interracial marriages. Now I want to pause there for a moment, because you would think if anybody is going to marry outside the race, it would be black women. You got 2 black women for every 1 black man. But as Thimby pointed out, it's exactly the opposite. There are 164,000 interracial marriages, of which 116,000 are brothers. That means 48,000 sisters. It's almost a 2-to-1 ratio of black men to black women marrying outside the race. But remember, as you said in the earlier workshop, if the definition of beauty is light skin, long hair, and blue eyes, why stop with Renee, the light skinned sister? Why not get you the real thing? There's some serious problems here. And then black men tell me, I can't find a black woman to understand me. You mean out of 20 million black women, you can't find one to understand you? You don't need a white woman, you need a psychiatrist.
Here is the proof.
Contrary to belief at birth, there are more black boys born in the world than there are girls. It's close.
Okay, now what do you think about what we just saw? I want to add that this was back in 1987. He's given this statistics from 35 years ago, so you know that these numbers much have doubled and tripled, because it's not 2 women to every black man. It's something like 7 or something, like some way out of range number like that. And the number of gays is not 1 out of 9 men. It's like 1 out of 4 now. That's it's really these numbers, like I said, has tripled and quadrupled. So if we were being plagued with the same thing in 1987, with this agenda to destroy the black boy, so he'll never grow up to be the black man. Y'all follow me here? What do you think our society looks like now? It's a ham. It's a hot ass mess. That's what it looks like right now. And their agenda is working. You got our men institutionalized, even jail or mental facilities. And like he said, much of them in the mental facility come out and become homeless. Then you got our other part of our men in homosexual, part of the LGBTQ community, right? Black men and women, okay. Then you got the other half of them interracial marriaging, and we can't use that saying, black men, that a black woman don't understand. You can't find a black woman that don't understand you. Like he said back then, out of thousands and thousands and thousands of black women, you can't find one that understands you. Then you don't need a white woman. You need a psychiatrist. And I believe in that. Not saying anything wrong with you find love for wherever you find love, but don't use that excuse that you can't find a sister. And we got to stop tearing men, black men. I'm talking to y'all. You know who you are. You got to stop tearing down your sisters. You so quick and wicked with your tongue to tear down your black woman instead of help building her up. A black woman always got to be on the defense when it comes to black men. Why is that? Sometimes the black men get out there and antagonize the woman. Then when the woman says something to stand up for herself, and then they want to try to go in and tear down. That's going to be a topic for another show, though, about the people tearing down people. Because I got you. That's going to be our Thursday show topic. Look, I think 2 steps ahead. But Bernice, what do you think about this video that we just shared? And I say this is dated. This is back in 1987 that these statistics was going on there. How do you feel this?
I definitely know that the numbers are much higher, but I have to speak on what you said as far as the black men tearing down black women. Now, as a mother of 6 black men, I'm going to have to come on the defense for the black man as well, simply because I've seen my sons in relationships and how women degrade, tear down, and even physically abuse black men. And see, the thing is, most of the time, the woman has the upper hand simply because she's a woman. Now, I've seen black men approach women, and even in the most respectful manner. How you doing? That's their response. Do you look like you belong with me? Things of that nature. And I told you, my saying is, if we don't build our black men, we kill our black men. So I know it's on both sides. That's why we have to come to learn each other, respect each other, and build each other. Now, these numbers are high. Yeah, the black man, I guess, I don't know what the white woman does for him. I can't speak on that because I'm a black woman. But in the same token, I agree with what the man said. If you can't find one black woman that understands you, then that's a problem. But in the same token, that's why we need to get together and learn each other, because how can we know if we don't educate each other? This is vital for us because, like he said, a lot of black men not available to us. And they outnumber us, but they're not available to us. And then he asked the question, why aren't they available to us? Prison, the homosexual lifestyle, interracial marriages, there could be a lot of things going on. But that's why, again, it's so vital that we get in the midst of it. Find out what's going on. Find a solution to the problem, because they not only the problem, sometimes we the problem. And then you got to think about it. A lot of our women gay now too. They gay. So that's basically tearing up the black family. There's no more mom and dad. There's dad and mom and dad. And, it's detrimental that we get on the ball and we start to build each other, because pretty soon we're going to be extinct. And it's going to be sad. And people still going to be asking the question why. Stop asking why and put something in action. That's the way I feel about
it. That's right. But I'm a mother of a young black man too. And I teeter-totter because I see a lot of the men being negative role models. If you're a 48, 49-year-old man still going out cursing out women, still acting indignant, what can you teach the young man coming behind you? Nothing, because you ain't got it right yet. And
okay,
a lot of us older people, we need to help reach back and train the younger people, the youth, to say, this ain't the way to be, young man. Pull your pants up, young man. You should talk like this, like men and women. This ain't the way to be, young girl. This is Detroit. Do we got any accountability for the people that's coming behind us? Because it's the destruction, not of the black man, but of the black boy that we're talking about. Because if they get them young and coming out the cradle, they ain't never got to worry about them growing up to be a man, because they stopping them in their tracks. They stopping them there. So how do we keep this from happening to our young black babies, to our young black boys? How can we get them to men? Young black boys faces a lot of obstacles. Young black men faces the race card. I'm sorry, but systemic racism is real. When my son teaching him how to drive, had to tell him when the police stop you, you put your hands on the wheel. You show them your hands. You don't make any sudden moves. You don't do that. No other culture has to do that. But why do we have to do it to our babies? You can't, you always worry if your 16, 17-year-old out there driving, if they're going to make it home safe. Because of this stuff, Bernice, is what I'm saying. How do we okay, that's one. Training our black men how to maneuver through society. And we got to tell our young black babies what they are worth. Instill them, it's in them so they know they worth. So they know I can get out here, I can get an education, I can make a difference, I can try to maneuver in this world the way things are. It's messed up that the love of money is the root of all evil, that our people don't give enough back, or our people don't care about enough. But how can we get our black boys to be able to survive?
I understand exactly what you're saying. But in the same token, we have to look at it this way. What happened to that black man that he's now 40-something years old and he can't help the next man? See, what has failed to be addressed is the trauma of the black man as well.
We got to stop it in the youth. It happens in the youth. That trauma happens when they're young. So we got to try to protect the young so they can grow up to be a productive part of their society. We can't, like, if you're 48 and you don't got it, you need to get some mental health. You need to go get some help. But if you're 4 and 5, we can help you get to where you need to be. So at least that 4 or 5 growing up won't take the same plight as that other man did. Won't have to be 48.
But that's, you know what? The problem is, and I had a conversation with my older son. The problem is again, most of our men aren't allowed, society doesn't allow them to feel. We want to hold them accountable. We want to hold them accountable again. But like I said, just like we got trauma, we talk about our trauma as women, our men need to be allowed to talk about their trauma so they can heal from it. And yes, therapy can be a big part of that, but we as women are also a big part of that. We have to be a part of that, because so they won't get to 40 and 50 years old and, you know, they still carrying that trauma and the weight of the world on their back. Hey, trust and believe. It's not these youngins who just dealing with it. It's just more apparent now. Our black men been ducking the same thing these youngins ducking. It's just as time grows, it gets more and more apparent, and it gets heavier and heavier. So it's generational. It's generational. But again, we have to learn how to deal with everybody as a whole. Now, I done dealt with some black men. I'm like, you know, I see that, you know, something is broken, and I can do my part to try and help him. But you can't help somebody who don't want to help themselves. But those who want to be helped, those who are hurting need to be healed. Because, you know, I want my men to grow up and be productive. I mean, they're grown now, but they are, I can say they're productive, but they still have trauma. Their father spent how many years in prison? 16. So he wasn't there for their lifespan. So that's something that's missing. Just like as a little girl, for me, everybody always say boys need their father. Girls need their father too. And I told my sons, I said, listen here, when you have a daughter, remember you her first love. You need to show her how she needs to be treated, how she should be loved, what's respect and what's disrespect. So this is all of us. We can't put it on one person. It's impossible to place the blame on one person. It's all of us. We are all accountable. And when a brother come to me and he hurt like that, I want to be the one to say, look, brother, I'm your safe place. As long as you respect me, we got this. We're a team. And I don't care. I ain't got to be your woman, but I'm your sister. I'm your friend. And that's the way it has to be. We do too much pointing fingers. Accountability. We was talking about that yesterday. We have to be accountable. It's all of our responsibility, not just the black man, not just the black woman. And that's why things have gotten so far off, because the government coming in, they have their agenda. But what's our agenda? What's on our plate? If we're going to pull up to the table, let's work. Let's not talk about it, but let's work.
Yeah. We got to protect my whole focus or bringing this to the forefront is to let everybody know that there's agenda out there on our black man.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Or let me say black boys, because it starts from the boys. Because like I said, if you catch them when they're babies and you mess them up, they won't be able to grow up to become black men.
Yeah.
And the same way with our little girls. You know, we got to teach our children when they are children. Because once they cross that threshold to adulthood, a lot of them not ready for the world. We got to adequately prepare and equip our children, male and female children, because this world is a wicked place. And we all know that it's not fair to people of color. Never been. We never did get a fair shake, a fair deal. We never did get our 40 acres and a mule. It's like this. You work 40 hours and you're the mule. That's what you got. You the mule that worked 40 hours. You didn't get 40 acres. You got 40 hours. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they still work the mess out of you. It's just in a different way.
Yeah.
Our plight began before we even came, here to this country. When we first set foot over here, when they came and they discovered people of color and how they enslaved us. Okay. Now we're traumatically, so much trauma that is sketched almost in our DNA.
Yeah.
And it's passed down to generation to generation. And that fear. We're out of slavery, they said, but are we really? Because if you got the mind, your body will follow. And when they did a number on our mind, and we're still working through and trying to unravel all that mess that they snatched up and tied up in our mind, the fear and the abuse and stuff, it's traumatic. And we see it today.
Yes.
We see it in the adults,
Yeah.
It comes out of people in different ways and at different times. Everybody got a story. Everybody got a different story. You are unique, just like your thumbprints, just like your fingerprints are.
Yes.
But what I'm saying that we started from our babies, and we know, okay, you can't do nothing that happened in the past, but the past can give you a blueprint of how you should go forward. It can help you navigate through the system because you've been down that road, the bends and turns. So it can give you a new map. So you can tell the next generation, look, if you go down that road, that's happened, that turns. That's if they're willing to listen. Half of them want to learn their bumps and bruises on their own. And then the other half was like, where that map at? Where you say I go? What you say I do?
Right.
But we got to be there. We got to be accessible for our children. We got to go back and get the babies and say, look, this is what you got to do. Our children may not hear us now, but they'll listen to us later. Meaning, if you ever, your parents said something growing up, you didn't want to hear them now, but then you're listening to their voices in your ear, in your head as they echo later. Have you had that ever happen?
Oh, definitely. I learned that as I became a parent. They used to say stuff. I'd be like, I ain't trying to hear none of that. And then later on, it's like, that's what they meant.
Exactly.
There are a lot more weapons formed against our young people these days, because you can teach them in the house, but that has to be consistent. You can teach them in the house, but when they go out here in this world, it's on them to make the right decision. It's on them, because there's so much out here in this world. There's so much going on in school, sex in school, drugs in school, all kinds of stuff. And now everything they're trying to teach our children in these schools. So we're going to have to, again, that's when that village come in. As a village.
That's right.
As a village, we have to teach them. We have to make sure we stay on top of it, because we could be teaching it and we say, okay, well, I told them that and we let it go. The school gonna come back and they're gonna reiterate that. Oh, you can identify as what you want. You can be a cow. If you identify, we're gonna put a kitty litter in the back. No. We have to reinforce it, and it can't be a one-time thing. That's why even my sons are grown. They get random texts. You are a beautiful black man.
Am
you
I
are
freezing
strong.
up?
No.
Hello?
Hello?
Bernice.
Yes. You can't hear me? I don't know what's going on. I don't know if y'all can still hear me, but she can't hear evidently. I guess we having some technical difficulties. But I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, it has to be a consistent thing and reiterating what our kids need to know, what they're facing and their choices. We have to make sure our kids know that they are leaders. Like I said, my sons, even as adults, get those messages, letting them know that they're loved and they're valued. And that has to be something that's consistent, not just from their mom, but people in society, other black women, other black men. And that's where it comes in. Because like I said, I see women tear down these men. Oh, you ain't got no Jordans, you ain't fresh. Stuff like that. And that stuff can ultimately mess with the mental of our men, feeling like they're not good enough, they're not worth anything. So as a whole, as a people, we got to come together. Because I see a lot of our people who rise above and they pick and choose their battles. When they get to a certain place in their careers, they don't come back and say, dang, I need to go back and see what's going on with my community. We have to do that. We have to go back and check on our communities. And some won't hear us, but others will, because I've talked to some of these young men, and some of these young men out here who are on these streets have the biggest hearts, and they are intelligent. And they just want somebody to love them, try to understand them, and respect them.
Now, as you talk about and with the women, okay, like I said, I got a son too, and I'm a female, but in my circle, none of the females that I know ever acted like that growing up or displayed that type of attitude. It was the other way around, where the men was the one picking and choosing, because you got to remember, you got 7 women panning after this one man. So the 7 women panning after the one man, is he's not getting the even the little ugly ones that they call the little ugly ones, even acting like they got clout, now, because now they got a chance to choose, because like the 7 or 8, or maybe the ratio is 10-1 women for one man. Yeah. So I never experienced that. I experienced men trying to call me out my name. I experienced men trying to go on you, and I ain't did nothing to nobody. But you just experienced that negative, because they got 10-1. They could pick and choose. Even your less desirable men have that same ratio, 10-1. It's always in the circle. Like I said, we didn't put down no man. We wasn't going to nothing like that. In other words, it was the man that was putting down the woman. I need to be able to feel protected around my men, the people, your friends in your circle. I understand to know that if something happens, we women.
Yeah, I do understand your outlook, but I can say for me, growing up in school, I seen the ones you call popular girls tear down dudes. So I've been seeing it on both sides all my life, and I grew up as a big girl. So back then, big girls weren't hot. You were, if they were into you more, 9 times out of 10, it was a secret thing. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen it on both sides. Like I said, if you want, you ain't got this, you dirty, you a bum, things like that. So, and today we're definitely living in a different time, because people got TikTok fame, and you You know, they more popular than normal because they don't only have the people in their hoods liking them. Now they got social media and people co-signing on their TikTok and Instagram fame. So this world is getting harsh. So it's important that we learn, again, how to deal with this, because certain situations can make people angry. I'm going to say my oldest daughter, for instance. She was always quiet in school. She never wanted to fight. But at some point, she got sick of the bullying and she decided to throw hands. Situations can change people's attitude against the world. And the only protection she knew was, okay, I know God on my side, but it's time for me to call mama. Oh, I'm going to call my brother. You know, and it shouldn't have to be like that. Like I said, I had a son say, Ma, I dropped out of school because I got tired of fighting. Mm-hmm. We all get tired, but Black men do go through a lot that we're not willing to address. And yes, it comes out on the wrong. It comes out against us. But it's because a lot of times they don't feel protected. Our girls, you're right, they don't feel protected. The only men that my daughter had that made her feel protected were her brothers. Because she know when she called them, they coming. Her father passed in 2015, so she didn't have that. So again, as a whole, man, this world is not getting better. It's getting worse. And our children are angry. They are angry. They are angry. We got a lot of parents raising them who went through trauma and never dealt with it. So they, like Ron said, if we raining on our kids, we raining on our kids. We raining on our kids because my son therapist told him, he said, you know why you choose broken women? He said, because you saw your mom broken and now you want to heal them. You think that's something I want to pass on to my son? No. There's no way I wanted to pass that on, but it takes dealing with it. And that's why now I have an open dialogue with my kids, because as a child, I was not allowed to speak my piece. I was not allowed to talk about the trauma because everybody talk about the older generation, how they were strong. Yes, they were strong and families stayed together, but a lot of stuff was swept under the rug. And so we carried that stuff until our adulthood. So we got to address.
That's facts. I've had the same here. Ain't nothing changed here. I grew up as a big girl here. I had to fight through all these isms. I had to fight through, and I didn't mean to pour it onto my child, but I had to reach back, get myself together so I can be there for my child, so I can teach him, you ain't got to do this, or this. We had to perpetuate the stereotype, honey. They say, you're a big girl. Big people are fat, they lazy, they stinky, and don't nobody want you. And I had to perpetuate, and they stupid, okay? 5 things right that I just said. I had to perpetuate that stereotype to let them know I'm not stupid. I was very intelligent. Straight A on the tag student right here. Magna student right here. I was not lazy. I played sports. Every sport there was. I took gym for all year long. I was not stinky. I showered and bathed a couple of times a day. Okay? I went and got my hair done. Queen Latifah set it off. And I was not shabby with the dressing. I worked with school and all that. I had to perpetuate all those stereotypes. Had to go through that trauma and then dealing with the trauma with the mama, going with the grandparents, going on with meager eating, with growing up with almost nothing. Had to get out there and work. So I had all of that stuff going on with me. And then here come me being a young mother where the father said, oh, not my baby, deuces. But, I was like, you know what? I got this baby. And go back, wait a minute, let me finish. And take care of him. And all of my things. And I keep trying to tell my son, you're a big boy. So what? You're smart. You're intelligent. You don't have to settle for nothing because you are awesome the way you are, son. It's the love that we pour into our children. Whatever love that I felt that I didn't get, I made sure I'm still in the process of getting myself fixed and owning my own bullshit so not to rain on him, to try to give him love and pour into him what I didn't have. But let me finish. That was not good enough because he gone through his own plights. He's going through his own roads. He took that his own map that he's going through on. The only thing I could do is be there for him to say, you got this, we got this, I'm here with you, to hell with his back, to be the mother to him, like the mother that I didn't have, to have his back, to let him know he got a mama, and how to get through all of these, perpetuate all these stereotypes. People gonna talk about you. If Jesus walked the earth today, they'd be like, oh, look at him. Look at that tattered robe. Look at them shoes. His sandals look like he been walking forever. People going to talk about people. People going to have that negative down on it because they're always trying to tear you down. Somebody is always trying to tear you down. Each and every one of us, individual, whether you got children biologically or not, you are tasked to people. When God put people in your pathway, you are tasked to them. And you're tasked to them not to tear them down, but to help lift them up. My granddaddy used to tell me the only time you look down on a man is when you helping them up. Because the same people that you looking down on now will be the same people looking down on you as they go up the ladder and you fall.
Yep.
And I digress now.
Let's get to these comments. Okay, we're going to start with DJ Slicky. First, he said congrats, and I believe he was talking about the young man. Then he said, y'all do it more, Reese. Molly said, sound like you need to deal with better men, sis. Justified Janice Cook. She said, Grand Rising, everyone. Renee Brown, hey, girl. Latrice Cheeks, hey, y'all. Latrice says, Reed, you in my house on my TV. Get out of my room. I'm home today. Latrice said, dark-skinned females wasn't hot either.
Do right.
Latrice says, my date until this day always will be her dad. My dad until this day will always be my protector. Latrice Cheek says, wow, makes sense, Miss B. Latrice said, that is all we can do, Ree. Justified Janice, we are wonderfully made. And Latrice said, preach, Ree.
Look, that facts. We all got trauma. If you ask everybody in their life, a person of color of this hue, we all got trauma. And Latrice hit another good valid point. Colorism. Our race is known for colorism because they were always like the light-skinned girl with the green eyes and the long hair. And then they was like, forget the light-skinned girl. I'm going to go ahead and get me a white girl. And that's what they do. That's what a lot of our guys successfully do. But there's so many single sisters out here that you have a plethora. And I can't say that I can't speak for every woman or every man. You know why? Because I don't know every woman or every man. I just know the handful of people that I deal with. And when you talking about I need to pick better dudes, that don't just go for boyfriends. That goes with people who you align yourself with, people who you choose to be in your circle. If they're tearing you down, we got to be on the lookout for our common friends, male or female. We got to make better choices, not just with who you dating, but also who you are dealing with, who you plug yourself into.
Well,
okay?
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You have to be careful who you plug yourself into. But, back then, we call it, dark-skinned fat girls one day. But you gotta admit, we all, right now today, we all got a preference. Like, for me, I was like, nah, you got to be 6 feet to ride this ride. That's no, seriously. I'm like, nah.
What's your little self? You
But that was my preference, Reese. It was. I don't want no short dude. Then, sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, okay, everything that look good ain't good for you. It ain't good for you. So we all got our preference. I like, I hate to hear people say, I like me a light skin. I like what I like, but I had to get outside of that and say, look, I got to stop looking visually. I still want a man who's well-groomed, who smell good, nice and neat and all that. But that comes in a variety of sizes, heights, all that good stuff. And I can say for me, I've never dated outside my race. I love me a black man. And I also have to admit that some of my trauma caused me to drop the ball with some good black men. I had to stop and check myself. You know what I'm saying? But I also know you can't heal somebody who don't address their problems. Because my last relationship, no matter what I did, until he get ready to heal and deal with his trauma, I don't care how much I be there, how much I do, how much I speak life into him, it's not going to work. He got to change for him. He has to heal for him. But like I said, I mean, all in all, you have to be cautious who you allow in your circle, because some people are sent. The devil got, his little, I call them imps everywhere. Oh, I'm a poke today and see how mad I can get her, or how mad I can get him, or can I throw them off their game? That's why I said I'll be quick to shut down. I listened to that video you said about Dr. What's his name? What's his name?
Umar.
Yeah, I listened to him and he said basically he was saying what I said. Shut it down. Sometimes you have to shut it down. And like I said, I don't completely shut stuff down, but I get back in my box and say, okay, how am I deal with this situation? Because like I said, once you speak stuff into the atmosphere, you can't take that back. They used to have that saying when we was kids, sticks and stone may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Lies. All lies. Period. You can say stuff that people can't bounce back from.
And we know now words can be very damaging because words get in here. And once you get into a person's mind, hey, you got them. You got them. And you're right. And when you're feeling yourself getting upset, you do have to step back and you have to reevaluate. You have to, you're like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me step back. Let me collect my thoughts and gather myself before I go on. And you're right. And say something damaging or hurtful to somebody else, to yourself or to another. You're right. You do have to step back. Or say, you know what? I'm not going to talk about this now. Give me a chance to bring myself down and we will revisit this later because I got to go back and reevaluate this. And when you reevaluate, that's when we check ourselves, men and women. Check symbolically. Check, did I do this? Did I do that? Or what was the cause of this or that? Where did this come from? And how did this get flipped from this to that? And then we have to own what we are responsible for. And I'm learning this and later on in life to own your shit. If you did it, you did it, to own it, because you can make mistakes. You can. It's okay. It's how you deal with them afterwards. Yeah. I'm woman enough to say, I'm sorry, my sister. I'm sorry, my brother. Because I want to be healthy. I want to do better. But you got to want. Some people don't want to be healthy, honey. Some people don't want to do better. Some people feel good off of tearing you down, whether you're a man or a woman. You're just a fucking demon at that point. When you want to go around hurting people maliciously, and that malice content and that egotistical in your mind because you feel like you less than, and then you have to crap on somebody else for you to feel better. Stop it. Right. Go get the help you need, my brother, my sister. Go get what you need so you can make yourself whole. Because if you got cracks and stuff and chips all in you, you can't hold my weight. You can't hold my weight.
Well,
you're too damaged.
I know our time is drawing nigh, so let's address these other few comments before we get out of here. Oh, Nene rolled through. She said, "Hey fam, love always." Then she said, "Real talk," and she said, "Enough already." Latrice said, "Preach, Miss B," and DJ Slicky. Woo said,
"Messy."
She said, "Oh shit, I'm too small, Miss B." I said that's who I used to be. I don't go by height no more. Hence, my last relationship, he was 5'4", honey.
Wait a minute, Bernice, how tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
So anybody taller than 5'5" is taller than you, right?
Yeah.
But you still wanted, not taller than you, wanted 6 feet tall.
My son, my oldest son's father, he's 6'6". My husband was 6'2", 6'3". So, that was my thing then.
You like to climb trees, baby. I get it.
Yep, I used to call myself a professional tree climber.
I like tall. I prefer taller guys too. And, you know, that's because I'm 5'9". I'm kind of tall myself, so I like 6 and 6 and up too. You know, so I'm guilty of it.
Yeah. Well, we all, you know, in the end, like I said, we got to get back to the village thing. We got to get back to the village thing. We got to get back to addressing our own issues so we don't pour out on other people. We got to start healing, learning, wisdom. We're never too old to learn. We're never, like I said yesterday, we're never too old to change until we take that last breath. So we could talk about it. We could sit here and talk about it all day. But what we going to do? Are we going to get out there and we going to make some stuff happen? You know?
And once you do change, reach back and help these children.
Exactly.
That's what we want to protect. We want to protect our little boys and our little girls. We want them to grow up. See, because the agenda is to stop you from even making it to adulthood.
And it's working. It's working. Because our young people are dying. They are dying so fast. But again, yeah, we that's why we got to heal some of our older men so that they can come out and they can help these young guys. We gotta deal with all of them. We got to deal from the top to the bottom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we strong women, and this feminism movement, and I understand it and I respect it to some degree. But baby, I need a man. I was made for a man. I love me a man, and that's it, and that's all. So all them sisters out there talking about, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. You keep right on and be lonely with your lonely self, baby. But not me. Miss B will not be one.
You gotta take care of yourself. And just because you don't got a man or you don't want a man, do not mean you're lonely. Like, I'm single because I choose to be single right now because I'm getting me together. I'm getting myself together.
That's a difference because these feminists are basically doing what society want them to do. They break it down, men. They're not good enough and blase blah this and blase blah that. You have to listen to some of the videos. I became hip to it, and I'm like, hold on, this is exactly what they want. They want us to be a separated people. My old pastor used to say, it's too great a work to be a separated people. It's too great a work. Come on, man. I need you, you need me. I love you, love on me. And I ain't gotta be your woman. Be my brother, be my friend. Period.
That's right. Yes. And a lot of men, if they not sexing you, they don't want to be your friend. I think Molly talked about it before on the Tom Mo show about men and women. Can they be friends without being intimate? You know?
Yeah.
I need my brothers and my uncles and my grandfathers and these are the people. I need the men, the pillar of our community. We need to get them, and we need to fortify them to get them strong again. We got to save our little black boys. My son, he's my son. One day, hopefully, he'll be a father. He'll be an uncle because he got other siblings on the other side. He'll be an uncle. He'll be a granddaddy. He'll be a cousin. You know, he'll be all that. And I hope he be there for the next generation to come. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we've come to the end of the hour. And what I'm going to leave the people with is, let me love on you so you can love back on me. Let me build you and you build me. We're going to build this. We're going to build it together, and we're going to help our children, and we're going to, make our society stronger. Because again, it's too great a work to be a separated people.
That's right. And you know how I feel, Bernice. I feel about the babies. Save the babies. That's what I'm talking about. Save the babies. Because a lot of these older cantankerous men, or that's tricked in their mind, are set in their ways. I'm like, I'm dealing with the youth. Save the babies. Save the babies.
Yeah, I believe that.
Save the babies, Molly.
Saving the babies is part of saving our black men. Like when they come home from prison, them prisons are not good for our men. They're not good for our men. All that trauma and stuff they go through. My kid's father told me some of them stories. Honey, when I come out, I wanna, when they come out, I wanna build you, because honestly, you got to be a strong something to go through that stuff and walk out with your head up. And if his head down, help him lift it up. And like I said, yes, I want to save this generation, honey, because, you know, I do my best to love on them. You know, it kind of hit for me when my son died and I went into my own thing, but I'm getting back out here and I'm going to continue to tell them my door open. You need me, text me, call me, knock on my door, because I don't have much, but I'm willing to share what little I have with the world.
Amen.
You know?
Amen.
Yes. Wait, woo, we got another comment. It say, whoa. Yeah, Latrice said our young people are dying mentally and physically, and I agree. My youngest is going through, but me and his dad are there for him. And DJ Slicky said, nah, sis, you still mad about your wine. That's why. Oh, Jesus. Latrice
That's why I
said,
ain't dealing with no old cantankerous men that set in their ways. I'm reaching back to try to help the youth. I'm fixing myself so I can help these babies, nurture them into a new era.
yeah, well, we all have a call. We all need to take part in some way. Like, if you want to deal with the youth, that's fine. I want to deal with the men so they can go back and help the youth. And I want to deal with the youth too. I got enough love to spread to everybody. So it is what it is. DJ Slicky talking about love me, baby. Oh, Jesus Christ. On that note, what you leaving with the people, Reed?
Look, save our young men, to keep our boys, help nurture them so they can become black men. Because this is an agenda against our people, period. And it's working. That video that we showed was dated 35 years ago. So you know these numbers tripled and quadrupled. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Save the babies.
We love y'all. Yeah, we love y'all. I can't speak for everybody, but Lady B love you.
Well, you
And
know I am too. I can speak for us. The here at the morning Max show, Molly, Lady B, Reese Reed. We love the people. We love our people. Yes, we do. We love our people, their people. We got love in our heart. That's why we do the show and produce it. That's why Molly do what he do and we do what we do, Bernice.
Yes.
Right? Because we do love. Molly, take us home.